Welcome to Competitive Research 101, where you're going to learn how to spy on your competitors and unlock a winning marketing strategy in 5 simple steps. Now, whether you're a startup or looking to sharpen your competitive edge, you want to understand your competitors and their strategies in order to crush the competition. And so in this video, you're going to learn how to identify your competitors, how to conduct an in-depth competitive analysis, and analyze their marketing mix so that you can identify market opportunities and threats. Welcome to Marketing Sprints with Michelle. My name is Michelle, and I coach small, medium businesses and aspiring marketers to learn marketing one sprint at a time. Now, recall in the last marketing sprint, we explored internal SWOT analysis. And if you haven't watched that video, I invite you to check it out. Now, internal SWOT analysis allowed you to identify your strengths and weaknesses. Now we're going to turn our attention to external SWOT analysis. And in this capacity, you want to look at what you cannot change, what you cannot control. So for that, you need to look outside of your business or externally in order to identify market opportunities and threats. And a really great place to start is with competitive research. Now, remember that SWOT analysis is part of the research stage of the marketing process. When conducting an external SWOT analysis, there's actually a lot of different factors or forces that you want to research and consider. Of course, including competitive research, but you also want to look at other forces such as demographics or sociocultural forces, political, economic, technology forces as well. But the best place to start is with competitive research. First, how can you identify your competitors? You want to consider that you will have some direct competitors and some indirect competitors. Your direct competitors are those that offer a similar product offering in the same product category. For example, hamburgers. McDonald's has some direct competitors, such as Burger King, Wendy's, and Five Guys. But McDonald's also has some indirect competitors. Those are competitors that offer a product in a related product category. Let's say fast food. So some of McDonald's indirect competitors in the fast food category could be Popeye's Chicken, or Domino's Pizza, or Taco Bell, for example. Now, another framework you can use to identify your competitors is based on 3 positioning factors: who, what, and how. And that pertains to who are the customers you're serving, what problem you're solving, and how you're solving it. So in this framework, your direct competitors share the same who, what, and how. You serve the same customer segments with the same product solution and in a similar fashion. Whereas your indirect competitors, they would possibly solve a different problem, but for the same customers in the same way. Or they could take a different approach to solving the same problem for the same customers. And finally, they could solve the same problem in the same way for a different set of customers. It'll help to take a look at an example. Let's say we look at Uber, the ride share service, as compared to Lyft. They're direct competitors because they address the same set of customers, address the same problem in a similar way. Whereas if we looked at the Uber ride share service compared to DoorDash, they solve a different problem. One's getting people from point A to point B, the other is getting food to you. Although they serve the same customer in a similar way, they're solving a different problem. You could also look at Zum. Zum actually provides transportation for school children. So they are addressing a different set of customers, children and their parents, although they're providing a similar solution and using a similar approach to Uber. And then finally, You could look at Uber versus traditional dispatch taxi service. Again, they're addressing the same customers, addressing the same problem, but with a very different approach. Second, how can you find your competitors? You can Google them. Google your product category, for example, and stay within your geographic proximity. Anywhere you have physical locations, you want to search within those areas. Now, you can also look at e-commerce competitors. In that case, you can look at a broader geographic range, regionally, nationally, or even further afield. You can also look through popular social media sites to identify competitors. That could be Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. And you should also search through industry association websites or trade periodicals. You might find your competitors listed as members or even advertising in some of those sources. And also, very importantly, you should ask your sales personnel, who are they most often winning or losing business against? Now, once you identify your competitors, you don't necessarily have to focus on all of them, but I would recommend you start with 3 to 5. Make sure you've identified your main direct competitors and maybe a couple of indirect competitors. Another tip is you should definitely focus on the market leaders because they're going to provide very good benchmarks. Okay, so once you've identified your competitors, now what you want to do is you want to conduct that external analysis. In particular, you're going to look at your competitors' marketing mix, or their 4 Ps of marketing: their product, price, place, and promotion. We're also going to look at a 5th element, that of positioning. Now, similar to how you looked at these same marketing mix elements for your own internal SWOT analysis, you want to look at those same internal factors, but now for your competitors. Your internal SWOT analysis uncovered your own strengths and weaknesses. Now you're going to look at your competitors' marketing mix to identify your competitors' strengths and weaknesses. But let me bust your brain. Your competitors' strengths are going to be your threats, while your competitors' weaknesses will become opportunities for you. For example, if we look at Zara, some of Zara's strengths are that they offer the latest fashion trends and they refresh their inventory very often. So those would be threats to other fashion retailers. On the other hand, some of Zara's weaknesses, such as their limited size offerings or some of their lower quality fabrications, become an opportunity for other fashion retailers. For example, they could offer petite or plus size fashion or use higher quality fabrications. Now, when analyzing your competitors' marketing mix or their 4 Ps, look at their product mix. What are the variety of products that they're offering? What are their products' features, attributes, and packaging? You also want to look at their pricing. What pricing strategies are they using? Are they offering pricing at, below, or premium pricing? Are they using cost plus or any freemium pricing? You also want to look at their place. How many physical locations do they have? And where are their locations? Do they have e-commerce or online channels? Are they using other distribution channels? And finally, you want to look at their promotional mix. What is the mix of promotional strategies they're using? Are they using digital marketing, blogging, certain social media, maybe advertising, public relations, trade promotions, or sales promotions? Now, the 5th step in conducting an external SWOT analysis against your competition is looking at their positioning. And this is very important. You want to understand what is their brand position in the market? What is their brand equity, perception, and association? You also want to understand how they're positioning their products. Look at the key messages they're using. What are the stories that they're telling about their product offerings? And what can you learn about their unique selling propositions? These 5 simple steps will help you uncover the threats and opportunities. Again, looking at their marketing mix, their product price place promotion, and the 5th element being their positioning. Now, you may also be asking, where can you find this competitive information? Well, one of the other beautiful things about digital marketing is you can find a lot of these things online. So it's very easy to spy on your competition online. Look at their website, read their blog, comb through their social media accounts, find out where they're active on social media. What are they publishing? What are some of the comments that are found on those platforms? See if you can find any of their online advertising, maybe through digital display ads, search or social media ads. You can also Google them and see if you can find other media mentions or press releases about them online. And if they're doing any other active digital promotions, you should be able to search those up and also find them online. Of course, another key thing is you can leverage software tools to kind of do this for you. There's a number of software tools that will comb online mentions, references, buzz, and conversations about your competitors. Some of those tools include BuzzSumo, Hootsuite, BrandWatch, and SEMrush, for example. It's also another good idea to use a competitive analysis template. You can find many of these online, but they're really good tools just to keep you in check and organize all of your competitive findings. In fact, I've shared some links in the description below to some of the favorite competitive research templates that I like to use. Now, competitive research and analysis isn't a one-time thing. It should be an instituted part of your marketing discipline because the competitive landscape is very dynamic. You might have new entrants enter the market. Your competitors might change their marketing mix. They might change their product mix, and consumer preferences may change. So it's really important to have some ongoing monitoring and listening and scanning of the competitive landscape so that you can be prepared also to adjust your strategy accordingly. So there's no doubt that competitive research is important, and it's a great place to start in conducting an external SWOT analysis. In fact, your competitive research will start to uncover some of those marketing opportunities and threats. And those are really key inputs so that you can formulate a winning marketing strategy. In particular, in this video, you learned how to identify your direct and indirect competitors and to focus on market leaders. You also learned to identify their marketing mix, their product price place promotion, and their positioning so that you can identify market opportunities and threats. You also learned that your competitors' strengths become threats to you, while your competitors' weaknesses open up opportunities to you. I hope you liked the video. I hope you found it helpful. If so, I'd invite you to like, share, and comment on the video. In the upcoming video, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the other external factors you want to consider. Do any come to mind? If you are familiar with some other external factors, please comment below. Otherwise, please subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you can get notified when the next video releases. I really want to thank you for your time and attention. Welcome again to Marketing Sprints with Michelle, and peace to you.